Alright, everybody, I'm gonna review Backlash, review the PLE, the poor, lazy excuse for a wrestling show, 'cause that's exactly what it was. It was ass. Anyways, I'm gonna review Backlash. I'm gonna go through these one by one, and unlike these other marks, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna BS with you, so we'll get some real reviews here on my channel. So, the first match was for the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu versus LA Miz versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. And my first thought, who cares? Who cares about this match at all? Who cares about this title? Who cares about this fucking feud between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest? It's never gonna end. According to how this match ended, of course, it's gonna keep fucking going on and on and on and on, and nobody cares. I don't know why they're continuing on with this, but anyways, so this match, it was an alright match, but it basically could have been on SmackDown. This was just another SmackDown Fatal 4-Way, nothing that nobody cared about, that was for nothing, that meant nothing for a title, that nobody cares about. And, they all looked fine in the match. They did a lot of stupid finisher spots that I don't like. I hate when they spam their finishers. They did that spot. They did one of the spots where Drew and Fatu just kept punching each other like fucking stupid idiots. They just kept letting each other punch each other. That is the dumbest, worst spot in all of wrestling, when they just sit there and let each other hit each other. It's the dumbest thing. It makes no sense, and it makes them both look like stupid idiots. So look, I like Drew, I like Damian Priest, but I like Jacob Fatu, but they look like fucking idiots when they do that spot. So anyways, this match, Jacob Fatu retains, of course. Everybody knew he was going to retain. This is, when you know who's going to win the match, it's just like, what's the fucking point? There's no payoff. Everybody knew Fatu's winning. He's going to keep that title. So it's just an excuse to give these guys something to do. That's all it was. So, the match, like I said, it was fine. I want to say one thing. Michael Cole won't stop mentioning that Fatu went to jail, and I'm getting so tired of hearing about Jacob Fatu going to prison. Michael Cole won't fucking let it go. It's driving me insane. So anyways, now that I got that out of my system, this match was whatever. Drew and Damian ended up going out to the crowd, and I don't think the crowd even cared. They look fucking bored. They're walking by him snapping selfies, but they don't care. They don't care that they're in the crowd, because nobody cares about this feud. There's no payoff. 2 years now, Drew McIntyre getting screwed, and there's no fucking payoff. He already beat Damian Priest at WrestleMania, so why are they still fighting? It's so stupid. So anyways, they end up out in the audience, and they end up doing the worst choke slam through a bunch of fucking pillows. He literally chokeslams him onto a pile of black pillows. It's the worst. Drew starts hugging onto him and jumping with him into the spot. And again, I like Drew, I like Damian, but it's the worst spot. And he just chokeslams him outside, and I guess that kills them, because they're gone for the rest of the fucking match after they jump into the pillows. And it leaves Jacob Fatu in the ring with LA Miz, and, they're doing some back and forth, and LA Miz is about to do a table spot and about to put Fatu through the announcer's table. And then Solo Fatu shows up. His brother shows up and pulls Jacob Fatu off of the table. And once again, Solo Fatu shows up, and it's like fucking crickets. Nobody cares. This is a common thing throughout this whole entire show. With so many of these wrestlers, nobody cares. It's like I take that back. There's like the smallest reaction, and the only reaction is because he pulls Fatu off and deprives the crowd of the table spot. That's the only reason they get upset, is because they don't get the table spot. Otherwise, they don't give a damn. And so right after that, you think the match is over, and all of a sudden, you turn around, And fucking Rhino shows up, or at least it looks like Rhino. He shows up 4 feet tall. He's just standing there smirking. Jacob Fatu's just staring down, looking down. Like, when the hell did they re-sign you? And everybody's confused. Who is this midget that just showed up? And then he just starts wreaking havoc. I guess he has short man syndrome because he's mad. Starts beating up L.A. Miz. And then, Jacob Fatu just looks like a fucking idiot because he's just staring confused the whole time. And he ends up going in there winning the match. And as expected, he retains the United States Championship. And then after the match, he just looks like the biggest idiot. He's just staring at Solo Fatu and whatever his name, Jake Cobb, Corn on the Cob, whatever the fuck his name. I can't keep up. Everybody's Jake. Jake Corn, Jake Cobb, Jake Fatu. Who the hell else is going to show up? Anyways, he's just confused, as everybody is. Who's this short man who just showed up with fucking roid rage? He's staring at him, and it makes no sense. Fatu never once does Jacob Fatu ask, who is this? What's going on? He doesn't use his words. He just stares at him and looks confused like an idiot and then walks off. Makes him look so stupid. I don't know who's writing this shit, but it looks so stupid. Anyways, next match. Becky Lynch versus Lyra. Who cares? Honestly, the way they booked this to start was so stupid. Having her come in at WrestleMania and they win the tag titles and she screws her the next night. It's just the dumbest thing. It's just so stupid. Nobody cares. Nobody's invested. Nobody's invested in this title. Lyra comes out with her pigeon wings, looking like Pigeon Lady from Home Alone. She's pretty good. It was a fine match. I don't have anything bad to say about the match, but it could have been on Raw. It's fucking boring. Lyra wins. She broke her nose, I guess, at the end. She's sitting there holding her nose, crying and shit. Feathers all over. Anyways, who cares? Next match. The next match, Pentagon versus Dominic Mysterio. This was, I like both of these guys. They're both really good. Dominic is so over right now. Right call having him retain, but again, this could have been a fucking match on Raw. It was a fine enough match, but it could have been on Raw. There's no point for it. Nobody cares. Nobody's invested in the feud. Dominic's obviously not going to lose the title. He just fucking won it, so we know he's going to win. I will say Judgment Day, I'm so tired of them. They look like chumps. They act like chumps. They look like chumps. Finn Balor, more like Finn Boring. JD McVunko, he's a fucking disgrace. Carlito, probably the worst legend of all time. Spit or swallow, who cares? Moving on. They need to be fired. Dominic needs to move on from them immediately. It's a fucking disgrace. And I will say also, Pentagon looked like a fucking idiot when he sat there and watched Chad Gable climb the ring, and he just sat there and looked at him like a fucking idiot, like he didn't know what he was going to do, and just waited for him to headbutt him in the head and cost him the fucking Intercontinental title match. It's just a disgrace. Stupid booking, stupid finish. I like Chad. I like Dominic. I like Pentagon. But it was just a fucking disgrace of a match, a finish, just a waste. We need storytelling, people. There's no storytelling. It's just a fucking waste of a match. So anyways, next match. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. This is just a disgrace to do this to Gunther. Gunther was undefeated. Should have never lost to Jey Uso in the fucking first place. And now he's immediately feuding with Michael Cole's best friend. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? I gotta calm down. He's feuding with Michael Cole's best friend, Rob McAfee. It's a disgrace. That first night when he was bullying them, he should have just held both of their heads in the toilet and taken a shit on them, and that should have been the end of it. Gunther should be like Big Show in 2003, throwing Kurt Angle off the Titantron just to impress Tori Wilson. Instead, he's out here fucking wrestling Michael Cole's best friend in a 45-minute match. And I'll give him this. Most of the match he's squashing Rob McAfee. But then there comes a spot where he's going to submit him. He should have tapped out right away. If Gunther taps out from Jey Uso right away at WrestleMania, there's no fucking excuse why Pat McAfee isn't tapping out from Gunther right away. And not only that, his boyfriend, Michael Cole, stands up and walks over to the fucking ring ropes, and all of a sudden, he has all this energy to go meet his boyfriend for a kiss at the ropes, and he's pulling out of Gunther's fucking submission. It's a disgrace. Then after that, he puts him in another submission. And at first, I was thinking, wow, Pat McAfee can sell. He starts passing out from the submission. It looks real. He starts passing out like he's really passing out. I'm giving him credit too soon. And then all of a sudden, his fucking arm starts flailing. He hears his boyfriend screaming again, I guess. Starts hulking up like Hulk Hogan. Next thing I know, he's on 2 feet fighting Gunther. It's a fucking disgrace. Gunther wins the match, but it's still a fucking disgrace. It should have been a quick squash. He should have shit on his head. Should have shit on Michael Cole's head, and that should have been the fucking end of it. Instead, he starts giving them kudos at the end, giving a little nod. Giving a little nod like he's the ring general, nod like he's approving of him. There ain't no approving of Pat McAfee. He ain't gonna have another match. It's a fucking disgrace. So, done with Pat McAfee. Done with his boyfriend, Michael Cole. I still like Gunther, but Triple H is ruining Gunther. And I don't know what putting this on the PLE, on the poor lame excuse for a wrestling event, is a fucking disgrace. Anyway, I gotta move on. Anyways, I had to calm down. Sorry, everybody. I had to stop recording. I had to calm down. That made me so fucking mad thinking about what they're doing to Gunther. Oh my god, he should be the fucking Big Show right now. And then they just fired Braun Strowman, so now Gunther's basically the only big guy. And they haven't fucking I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. Okay, anyways, the main event, nobody cares. John Cena versus Randy Orton. I can't believe I'm even saying that this is the main event in 2025, but the main event, I'll say it again, John Cena versus Randy Orton. Oh, it's a fucking disgrace. I know Triple H wants this to be the Attitude Era again, but to have Randy Orton versus John Cena in the main event is just a fucking joke. I swear Vince McMahon is still booking this shit, because, I mean, there ain't no way that anybody wants to see this John Cena versus Randy Orton. And especially the fact that this match went, 50 minutes long? It's just a fucking disgrace. This should have been a 15-minute match at tops. There shouldn't have been a million finishers. There should not have been a million kickouts from finishers. There shouldn't have been 20 fucking ref spots. They act like their refs are fucking idiots, and then we're supposed to take their word for it, like they're the bastion of knowledge. These referees, they're respected, and they're the fucking ring masters and holding it down. They look like fucking idiots. They're sitting there standing, waiting around like idiots, waiting for the spot, waiting for Cena to fucking push Orton into him or whatever it was. Every spot was so stupid with the ref spots. The ref went down 5 different times. 3 different new refs comes out. Every single time they end up down, and then there's a fucking false finish. They're waiting. No ref. Oh, surprise, surprise. He's gonna pin him now, but there's no fucking ref. Oh, it was a disgrace, and it went on for 50 minutes. They both looked like idiots. John Cena and Randy Orton both kicked out of a million finishers. It was just absolutely disgrace. Randy Orton, he was really over, but that was the entire point of the match. It was his fucking hometown. That's the only reason he's in the match. That's the only reason that they booked this match. I gotta calm down. The only reason they booked this match is because Randy Orton, it was in Randy Orton's hometown. Somebody looked at the fucking calendar and said, oh, Backlash, where we at? Where we at for Backlash this year? We're not in France, are we? Oh, no, we're in St. Louis. Oh, okay. Randy Orton's from there. I guess we'll put Randy Orton in the main event. And then that was that. That's literally all the thought that went into this fucking feud with John Cena versus Randy Orton, is that it was Randy Orton's hometown. And then, like I said earlier, everybody knew John Cena's gonna win, so what's the fucking point? what's the fucking point when you know who's gonna win? I gotta calm down. I'll be right back. I gotta calm down. Alright, I'm back. I had to calm down. So, this match goes exactly like you expect. A million fucking false finishes, spamming finishers. John Cena wins at the end. The spot was so stupid it was stupid at the end. I like R-Truth. Listen, I like R-Truth. I like Ron. I'm a fan of Ron. He's like a 40-year veteran for WWE. So I like that he's getting the spotlight, and, I get his characters to be like a fucking idiot and all that. But he comes out and he stops Randy Orton from doing the punt, kicking John Cena in the head. And as soon as he stops him, Randy Orton immediately gets distracted and spends 5 minutes chastising Truth about what are you doing, completely forgetting he's in a fucking world title match with John Cena. Looking like a fucking idiot, turning his back on John Cena. And what do you know? John Cena low blows him, hits him with the belt, and then just like fucking magic, the fucking ref wakes up like fucking magic. 1, 2, 3, John Cena wins. Oh my god, it's just such a waste of time. It's a disgrace. Where's Cody Rhodes? Where's CM Punk? Where are all these people that people actually care about that could be putting on a fucking feud that people care about? Because this one, nobody fucking cared about it. It was a disgrace. Everybody knew Cena was going to win. And there's going to be no payoff to this fucking feud unless Cody Rhodes beats Cena. And it needs to happen immediately because this is just a disgrace, this whole feud. And, another stupid spot, I gotta call this out because it just made me so mad. At the end of the match, all the officials start coming out because... all the refs start taking all the 5 refs are down, so then here comes Jamie Noble and all these other idiots, and instead of just circling around and stopping all the chaos like a fucking normal trained security squad would do, no, they just line up one by one and take an RKO one by one. Oh, he took an RKO. Let me line up. RKO. Oh, thank you, Randy. Another one, please. RKO. One by one, take an RKO. It is the stupidest spot. And then John and Randy also do the fucking same spot that Jacob and fucking Dan and Drew did at the beginning of the fucking program at the PLE, the poor lazy excuse for a wrestling show, when they're sitting there punching each other and letting each other punch each other, and the crowd is wooing and weeing and wahing and acting like fucking idiots. Oh, I can't believe they did that spot again. In 2 times in one show, it's a disgrace. The whole match was a disgrace. Lining up for the RKOs was a disgrace. 20 ref bumps was a disgrace. And now, John Cena, just like that, is going to move on to R-Truth. I don't know what Randy Orton's going to do, because he looks like a fucking chump now. He squandered his whole title opportunity just because he wanted to yell at R-Truth. Everybody knows he's a fucking idiot. But now everybody knows Randy Orton's a fucking idiot. Who is writing this shit? Who's writing it? Triple H, what are you doing? Yeah, anyway, I gotta go. This show sucked. PLE living up to its name. Poor, lazy excuse for a fucking wrestling show. 'Cause that show sucked ass. Anyways, I'll be back to review Raw.